SkullFace Records.
Yeah, I'm Rodney Harney. I'm Harney as Harney can get.
Yeah, I can sit back and relax.
So
I'm like Vince McMahon.
this is like the before the show. We've been planning on doing a Splatacaster Massacre right here in SkullFace Records studio. We have Danni Curr that came down from Cincinnati. We have Ronnie. We have me, and this is like the planets are aligned. It's going to
really
happen.
are.
It's fixing to happen. But right now we're just in the middle of the pregame. We're fixing to start up the show. We have a big show started up for us. I am honored that I get to be the special guest host of this epic Olympic style event that we're going to hold here in the studio, where we battle horror movies, horology, if you will. We're going to test the knowledge of old school movies, talk old school shit. We're going to talk some shit about people we grew up with and funny voices, and we hope they know that we're making fun of them. A pregame story that I had, though, because a little bit ago, you know, when three dudes get together and we all have our pants off here in the studio, we talk about sending dick pics. We've all sent dick pics.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody in this room that hasn't.
Yeah, you've sent a dick pic.
There's only three of us.
Like, yeah. I don't think I've ever...
Well, we're not counting the ghost pirate up there.
I don't think I ever got a dick pic from you guys, though.
Have you accidentally sent one like to your family, though?
I'll tell you. I got a great story.
Not yet.
Not yet? I'm waiting on that. I'm waiting on that DM, that airdrop. That airdrop. All right, so guys, this was like 13, 14 years ago. I was living in Lexington, and I had a phone full of people. Bitches, friends, homies, family, grandma, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters. Everybody was in my phone. And for some reason, I thought that I was going to be sexy Nick, and I was going to send some sexiness to somebody to get them maybe to come over and sexy with me.
Oh, shit. I can... the story.
Well, instead of sending it to her, I sent it to every motherfucker in my contact. Everybody. I'm talking grandma.
Are you talking about full naked? Like,
just master. Master puppets, baby. Master puppets.
Like show enough.
Yeah,
that's some stuff that requires some hypnotherapy to...
So my relatives never mentioned it. You know what I got, though, more than anything? The people that I hadn't talked to for a long time. Being like, what the fuck's this? That type shit. Like, well, like, whoa. Like, you know, it was beyond embarrassing, man, but it fucking happened. So, you know, we're talking dick pics here in the studio.
When I take my selfies, it's for me. It ain't for you to gawk at. I don't want you in my inbox. I don't want you trying to take me out. It's me. It's for me. I like to think I'm pretty, and you need to quit gawking at me.
I love your picture, baby. I love every time I see your picture, I put that love symbol up. I love your picture.
Well, I don't do the pictures for you, so I don't even care if you love my pictures. Because the
take
pictures are for me, because I feel good about myself. I feel good about you ain't taking me out nothing. I don't even want no ball for you.
I got some cocaine.
What in the world did I walk in on?
I don't want no drugs. The only person I ever love is Udi. I like my Udi. And me and Udi, we were punk rock as fuck.
Man, you don't even know nothing about no punk rock.
We punking as fuck.
No.
We're punking as fuck.
Y'all, you shot your shit on my jacket.
I tell you what.
I sold my plasma.
I tell you what. Just because I like butt play when I was younger, and it kind of affected my anal cavity, it does not mean that me and Rudy Booty wouldn't do booty work. Cause me and Rudy Booty do booty work on anything you gonna do booty work on.
He took up that booty like he owned that shit. He mounted that shit up on the wall.
Don't like my picture. This is Russian Road. Russian Road. We back with more Russian Road.
Like way up in the air.
So you have somebody that you work with whose ass is retarded.
Oh yeah, she did. I kind of fucked that up. I would have fucking married that bitch. Like looking back at it.
So we had, first off, you know, Splatacaster Massacre. Here we are, guys.
Episode 3.
I'm honored to be able to host this.
Horror's Hidden Gem. Top 10.
Top 10. It's Kentucky versus Ohio. Represent Kentucky, we have Anonymous. And then over here on the Ohio side, we have Danni.
Oh, yeah.
And what's going on is that they both have like a top 10 list. We're going to go through it. We're going to be listening to a lot of songs. I'm honored to be a part of this, which is kind of cool. we got this this idea. Whose idea was this? Was this your idea, Ronnie?
We've been rocking this for like a year over. We're trying to get this.
This has been building, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is kind of like Splatacaster Massacre versus Toxic Taste. You know what I'm saying? It's like Ohio versus Kentucky.
I'm sure we'll probably end up agreeing on a lot of stuff though. So
Yeah. I guarantee you we won't have the same movie.
Sometimes you got to hug it out instead
we
of
won't have the
fist it
same
up.
movie on our list. I
Yeah.
guarantee you.
So what we're going to do is both of them have concocted, right in front of me, both of them, concocted a list of top 10s. And what it is it's going to be Anonymous's number 10 versus Danny's number 10. All the way up to number 1. We're also going to have a bunch of songs, and we got some music that we're going to be going on. We have some special news we'll be dropping, a couple skits, stories probably be going on this entire night. But we're just getting started, guys, and we'll be right back with more episode 3 of Splatacaster Massacre.
What are you drinking there?
Cold pressed organic juice, berry and bright.
Does that keep that same man out there, babies?
It keeps that C-man after them babies through them plastico condoms.
You gotta keep that C-man on that eyelids, on them eyelashes, and keep them wrinkles away, I heard.
I don't fuck no bitches in no condom, man. I hate that shit raw dog in my bed.
If you're gonna take me out and give me steak, he better give me some semen on my face.
I'll give you a filet mignon up in your face.
I love teddies, man. Like, I'm just here to say that, like,
Let's get into this. Ohio versus Kentucky. We're gonna flip a coin here to see who goes first. Flip.
heads.
Heads it is. We're going to start with Danny Curr, and he's going to give his number 10, and then Ronnie's going to give his number 10. And what's going on is we have a live studio audience in front of us that's going to judge this, and they got voting devices. And at the end, after we go all the way through the 10, we are going to tally up the votes, and we will see who wins between Kentucky and Ohio. Danny Curr, take it away.
Well, my number 10 that I'm going to go with here is it's a pretty underrated slasher movie from the 80s, I think. Like, I don't want to say like super underrated because people do know about it, but it doesn't really get talked about it enough in the same regard as like My Bloody Valentine or any of those other ones.
Give me a hint before you say it.
Well, Tom Savini did the effects on it.
Okay. You said it's not The Prowler?
It is The Prowler. I said it wasn't My Bloody Valentine.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's easy.
But yeah, The Prowler. For that, one of those reasons there, I mean, Tom Savini did the effects, and I think it's got some of the best kill scenes ever in it, like especially like with the where he puts the knife down through the guy's skull and his eyes roll back in his head,
The pitchfork,
and the pool scene.
I talked to Savini about that effect.
Yeah, man, The Prowler's always been one of my favorite slashers, so for that reason, it's got to go on the list because I never see any Prowler merch like when I go to like horror conventions or anything. So I feel like
It's a good killer.
It doesn't really get like enough love.
For me, that movie's just a little boring. Like if it's the way it looks. It looks like there's like Vaseline on the lens or something.
I agree with you on that. Like the movie's not really the best, best quote unquote movie. But
and the killer's weird, right? It's just like a vet.
I get it though. I totally get what they were going for with that, like a vet with like PTSD. I just always thought that was a really cool concept.
And it was called Rosemary's Killer.
Yeah, I also thought it was a really cool concept for a killer. So that's the reason why it's on my number 10.
Anonymous.
My number 10 is going to be Class of 1999.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
yeah, I do.
Yeah, 1990s when they filmed it in Seattle. Two gang rivals, a school that's like locked down, owned by gangs. They sent in like Stacy Keach and Malcolm McDowell. They make 3 robot teachers. One's Pam Grier, and the other 2 go into the school, and it's like this classic school horror movies, like The Faculty or something. Like that stuff.
Slaughter High and all that.
Yeah, Slaughter High.
Yeah.
That should have been on my list. I just let my friend bum.
I thought about adding that one, but I didn't. Yeah.
That's a good one. But yeah, me and my friend John Allison, we would a good night on a weekend in the 90s. We would get Pizza Hut. We'd rent Evil Dead 2, Phantasm 2. We would rent Class of 99 and like Mikey or something.
Bro, I'm like right there as you're describing that, like that exact scenario.
And like Street Fighter 2, we'd rent that shit and play that shit all weekend. But yeah, that's my number 10.
That's a good one.
That's awesome. So everyone in the studio audience here, make sure you tally your votes now for the number 10. Now, we're at number 9, and this time, first comes Anonymous.
I'm gonna go with 1986's Vamp.
Oh,
And this is I just discovered it like maybe 10 years ago from Movie Land in Paris, where I rented it.
yeah, I've got that on DVD actually.
I just have the Laserdisc and VHS, but I'm sure the Blu-ray looks great. Oh yeah. This is the colors. It kind of looks like Suspiria, like the reds and the greens. As a kid, I used to stare at the artwork, and I just imagine this is the scariest film of all time, the Grace Jones and shit like that on it. And it really was a comedy when I finally saw it. It was just amazing, man. I can't believe I missed out for so long on Vamp.
Danny Curr, number 9.
Well, I'm gonna go with. Actually, I think I'm gonna change this one.
What?
Because I feel like this movie already gets like a lot of love, and I do see like a lot of merch at conventions and stuff. So I feel like a lot of people kind of know it. So it's not like you can't really consider it like an unknown gem. Mm-hmm. But the one I was gonna go with is Night of the Demons.
Yeah.
Because I mean, goddamn, like,
It's got a franchise.
yeah. You can't. I don't know. To me, you just can't really get like a much better like seasonal horror movie.
No, it's the
than
number
Night of the
one
Demons.
Halloween movie I'd watch every year. You know, it took me forever to warm up to that movie.
Oh, dude, I've loved it since I was a kid.
It took me 40 fucking times to watch it before I actually started loving it. And I always liked the third one. When I first watched the trilogy at 15, I loved the third one, even though it's horrible.
So the movie I'm going to replace this with, it was actually a made-for-TV movie in the 80s, but it's called The Midnight Hour. Have you guys seen that?
I haven't.
Okay, so like it's set like on like a I can't remember if it's actually on Halloween night, but there's like a party, right? So then like the dead start rising from the underworld or whatever at a Halloween party that these kids are having, because they end up finding like this like cursed like monument thing that like ends up bringing them back, and it's a really campy like fun movie. Like it's not scary or anything, but like it's got some just really really fun like effects and stuff in it, and just the concept overall is a lot of fun, I think.
That just spawns in my head, not to go completely off of the subject of the movies and stuff, but, Halloween parties. How cool were Halloween parties back in the day? And then did you guys ever attend, like, some real banger-ass Halloween parties? Or have Halloween parties always kind of been a letdown sometimes?
Most of the time, for me, it's been a letdown just because, like, most people are like, it's almost like they're too scared to dress up or something.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They don't, or maybe that. Yeah, they don't want to go all the way into making the night happen, because you got to make it happen.
But I will say I have been to some pretty good bangers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What about you?
I've been to a cool concert, Queens of the Stone Age and Nine Inch Nails in
that sounds neat.
Nashville.
That sounds neat.
We had a hotel room. It's great.
We this buddy of mine from Richmond named Brad Smith, he threw Halloween parties at his house for like a 5-year reign. And it was one of them random times that you went to a Halloween house party and there was 40, 50, 60 people there. Everybody was dressed up and everybody was getting fucked up and having a good time. Like it was random, but it had a good run. Like the Halloween party, I feel like should be something just as popular as Christmas, as any of the birthday parties, anything. Like a Halloween party should fucking rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do something like, kind of like what they did in Night of the Demons, for example.
Yeah.
Like find like a haunted house
Old
somewhere
house.
that's like
How
abandoned
cool
or
would
some
that
shit.
be?
Yeah.
And get a bunch of people together, like people that are actually going to dress up and like actually participate in like the fun of it. And just like really just go balls out.
You
and
ever heard of Duracell, man? You gotta bring batteries.
Yeah.
How cool would that fucking be?
One more mention of the Midnight Hour real quick I wanted to say is Wolfman Jack is in it, so that's pretty damn cool. You know?
I am the Wolfman.
Hey, Wolfman Jack here, coming straight towards you.
Yeah. So we're gonna go into number 8 real quick. We're gonna start back off with Danny. Who's your number 8 on this? Well, actually, first I need to remind the studio audience: cast your vote for number 9, and now we're off to number 8. Danny Curr.
So my number 8 here, it's kind of a mainstream movie, but kind of not. Like, it's kind of hard to say whether it is or isn't, you know. But the one I went with was Event Horizon, because I feel like that's a really, really good like sci-fi kind of deep space / horror / I don't know what you want to call it. One thing that I think is kind of interesting about that movie is that I've been reading about lately is there's apparently a like a lost cut of the movie where there's like 20 minutes that's been cut out of it.
I was going to mention that, yeah.
Yeah, like where there's like a lot of just like really like intense scenes that were just, I guess at the time considered too graphic for theater audiences. There was like a blood orgy scene. There's some crucifixion scenes, like just a lot of crazy shit. But that would be my number 8 spot because I feel like that movie doesn't really get enough love.
Oh, really? Yeah. Dude, I had no idea. Well, let me go ahead and scratch that off the list. I didn't know that. Wait a minute. We don't know.
Okay, my number 8 is Near Dark.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's like the cast of Aliens, and Catherine Bigelow was dating James Cameron at the time, so they had the resources. And this movie doesn't get any love because Lost Boys came out the same time. It's basically almost the same story, except they don't have fangs. But I've been watching, like a couple months ago, I fell asleep to it for like a month. Like I just put it in and fell asleep to it. But I love the movie, the tone, everything about it. Bill Paxton's off the fucking chain.
I agree with you, man. The cast, that's really good. Lance Henriksen, Bill Paxton, that's good stuff.
Hell yeah.
Well, guys, we're right in the meat of this Ohio versus Kentucky tournament. And we're going to take a quick break. We're going to listen to a little bit of tunes, man, pay a little bills, have a few commercials. This tune we're going to listen to next is by Shocker, who right here in the studio today, as you know, Danni Curr is here. This is his baby, his band. It's Shocker. This tune's going to be called Man-Made Armageddon. And we will be back with more Splatacaster Massacre. got a contest we got going on here. We have Kentucky versus Ohio. We've already shot through 10 through 8. We are going to get right into number 7, and it's actually going to be starting this time with Anonymous.
My number 7's going to be 1987 Stage Fright.
Nice.
Oh.
Mikel Suave, he was a protege of Dario Argento and Lucio Fulci, so he brings from both worlds. It's just one of the best Italian films there is, and one of the best slashers, I think. It's underrated as fuck.
I agree with you on that, man. I just watched that one within the last couple of years for the first time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and like I really like just the concept of it, like how after he kills all the people and like he sets up their bodies like in different positions on the stage.
That's awesome.
He has an owl, big mask, and an axe.
And like the cat's like roaming around the whole time too. Like I thought that was a little unique touch to it.
Yeah, not too many people in America know about that one.
Oh, we'll go to Danni Curr, number 7.
So my number 7 is I'm going to go with a horror anthology movie here. I remember, I want to go back a little bit because I can remember hearing rumors about this movie being made like, I don't know, like 5, 6, 7 years before it even got made. Because like I'm one of those people, right? Like when I hear like news about a horror movie that sounds interesting, like I'm following it, you know? But the movie I'm going with is Trick or Treat. I feel like it's a really good anthology movie, and it just doesn't really get talked about a whole lot. I mean, obviously people like it and it's got its audience, but I mean, you got a werewolf story in there, you got a slasher story in there,
That's cool.
You got a kind of sort of a ghost story in there, like and it all ties together so well at the end. And I'm hoping that they do a sequel to it.
Yeah, the drive-in, like I said, it was an amazing movie to see at the drive-in, and I appreciate it a little bit more. Yeah. You know, there's not really a good physical release of it either.
Right, yeah, I mean, there's just the DVD release that I know about that I've got, you know, so, yeah, I don't know what the story with that is, like why that was like such a hard movie to actually get released, but I know they had a hell of a time actually like getting it out.
Yeah.
So. But it's another thing too is like I feel like it's got one of the coolest like werewolf transformation scenes in it, like where all those girls transform into werewolves.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
That was always a big deal between a lot of my friends back in the day that was really big into movies, is the transition of werewolf.
Oh, dude.
It's always been American Werewolf in London versus The Howling.
The Howling, yeah. Yep.
Those two were the broad daylight transformations. But I don't think The Howling's broad daylight.
I just don't know how you can top either of those two. Like, they're kind of the best.
Yeah.
So, I guess I don't want to break too much of the monotony. I'm not as knowledgeable about movies in general, period, compared to you guys. But one movie that was in the horror genre that really stuck out to me that I seriously doubt is going to be on either one of your all's lists, or even if it qualifies as a complete horror movie, was one of my favorite movies growing up. It might be one of my favorite. Was Dead Alive.
Oh yeah.
And you guys are, because to me when I first seen it, I thought that nobody else in the world had ever seen this
I
movie.
kick ass for the Lord.
That's my favorite quote. I've been saying that for fucking 25 plus years.
Splatacaster 1, we did Bad Taste, which is the movie you did right before that.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. That's neat.
I almost added Bad Taste to my list, but I didn't.
Oh really? It should have been on both of our lists.
Dude, old lady's fucking ear falling out in the custard.
The custard.
Dude,
this town needs a war.
Man, what a and the puppetry that's used with the character that's the bite and stuff. It was such a fucking neat movie.
Over the top too.
It had a hot chick in it too,
It's the goriest movie ever made. There's no movie that tops that, I don't think. This is the goriest, grossest movie ever.
But it's like, it's not like, so, you got movies that are gory and like uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah, that's
like
fun,
that's gory and fun.
Yeah,
that would have us rolling. There would be a room full of like 10 of us in there, and we would be rolling to this movie.
The ultimate reaction. I let my ex-girlfriend's little nephew watch it. He was like 10 or 11.
Okay,
he loved it, but when it got to the point with that soup and he ate the ear,
he
was laughing, and then he starts puking, and then he starts swallowing his puke.
Wow, wow. Yeah, it's awesome though, man. It was such a great movie. I didn't know how you guys would feel about that on the list. Is that a horror movie?
Yeah, it is.
It's classic.
Hey, it's when the pimples that goes into that, not the ear. Yeah,
I didn't add that one to my list just because like it's grown like a lot of. it's grown a lot of love over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got really popular is what I've noticed. Because I started seeing like the shirts out.
What's called brain dead in every part of the world but America.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that's a neat fact I didn't know about.
I think Halloween 3 used to be an honorable mention, but it's not really anymore.
yeah.
Because like Darcy from fucking
Joe Bob.
Joe Bob just talks about it nonstop. So
That's why she's in Halloween Ends because of that interview that David Gordon Green did on the show, The Last Drive-In.
Well, let's go to number 6, man. We are at number 6, and we are going to Danni Curr.
So the one I'm going to go with here, I'm going to venture to say that neither of you guys have probably seen this one, but maybe you have. I don't know. But it was a made-for-TV movie from the 70s. I want to say 1972 or 73 maybe. But it's called A Cold Night's Death. Have you guys seen that? So it's basically the concept of the movie is like these two scientists are out in this Antarctic research facility, kind of like the concept of The Thing, right? Like they're snowed in, and they're doing like research on these animals, like these monkeys they got in this laboratory, and they're trying to figure out like why like the last team that was there ended up dying. So like in a lot of ways, like when you're watching the movie, like it kind of feels like The Thing, like it's got that claustrophobia kind of thing going, and like the paranoia of like, you know, can I trust this guy? Can he trust me? Yeah. But it's anybody listening, like I highly recommend checking this movie out. Like if you don't mind sitting through something that's a slow burn movie,
TV
like,
movie.
It doesn't have like a lot of action in it, but it's like it makes up for it in spades as far as like the atmosphere. Yeah, you know,
there's a lot of cool TV movies like Dark Night of the Scarecrow.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The Salem's Lot was a TV movie too.
Yeah, I forgot about that. It was. You're right.
To you, Anonymous, with number 6.
Number 6 is a very close movie to my heart. The thumbnail of my biggest song, Disowned, that we use the cover for. Slumber Party Massacre 2.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it does get a lot of love, especially around the...
it does.
Around the hipster movement, but, man, what can you say about a driller killer with a fucking guitar, the drill, that's like manifested out of nowhere? He's like a tulpa. You know, basically a manifestation of this girl's mind. I mean, it's the cheesiest fucking acting ever. But the soundtrack and the over the top,
it keeps you interested. Just because if you're into guitars and rock and roll, it completely just keeps you fucking locked in because you want to see it.
Dude, I can remember like I want to say, I don't know, when I was like probably 16, 17 years old, like back when there were still like VHSs you could rent. Me and one of my buddies, like we got a hold of some booze that night, and he was like spending the night, and like we went and rented a bunch of movies, and that was one of the movies that we rented.
Oh, cool.
Like, we got both the Slumber Party Massacres, and I just remember like having like such a good time. Yeah. At that point in my life, like getting drunk and watching Slumber Party Massacre movies.
How fucking fun was that, right?
It's fun, dude.
Oh yeah.
Like I wonder. I guess I'm sure it still happens a lot. But to me, it's just like I don't see it happening.
Nobody's getting together watching movies anymore.
Yeah, watching movies, just having a good time.
I think we should rent out Raws and play like 3 horror films and just get together and just do our, just have a good time.
I think
it would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
It would be kind of cool if we did something like how, like if we did like Joe Bob style or something like like we show a movie and like we sit up there
talk
and give
about
it. Like we stop in between, give like commentary.
Because the stage there's perfect for it. We can sit a couple of chairs right in front of it.
I had an idea for that today. Night of the Creeps, Night of the Demons, Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, dude.
3 night ofs.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
The only thing that sucks is the price that it costs to rent that theater. And if you're going to watch 6 hours. Yeah. That's way more than...
If we could promote it right, though, I feel like we could find an audience for that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
It's just a matter of, like...
My pictures, the pictures are for me.
That's rough.
My pictures, the pictures are for me. You're fine. When no review, you make us know numbers with my pictures. The pictures are for me. My pictures, the pictures are for me. My pictures, the pictures are for me. My pictures, the pictures are for me.
Well, let's go on to, we're at number 5 now. We're back with Anonymous at number 5.
Oh, no, I think you skipped Danny.
Sure did. I did it perfect.
Oh, yes, right.
You're wrong. Do as I say.
All right, so my number 5 is a fucking near and dear movie to my heart. I've actually did a promotion for a new horror movie soundtrack that I was doing today. I used it, and then I used the music from it, another reel, and I opened my shows with it. But it's Demons 2.
Oh.
Nice. I like that movie a lot.
Like when I was a kid, I got a hold of it early, and just the movie, the synthesizer score scared me. So I was hooked to it. And I remember growing up with that movie, and then in my 20s, I bought it, and I was scared shitless of the both of them. So I gave it away. I was scared to fucking death of Demons 1 and 2. Like, and then later on, I just started to love it, and I got to actually work on that Blu-ray of Synapse that was released last year. But I love fucking the Demons franchise.
Well, that first Demons movie, man, it has a lot of really graphic transformation scenes, like where the part where the demon crawls out of the chick's back.
Yeah, that's
Like,
fucking
I remember
classic.
that scene really freaking me out when I was a kid.
But part 2's got the TV, the dude coming out of the TV.
Yeah.
It's got the Sally chick flipping out. It's got the same characters like Tony the Pimp, but he's like the security guard now for the gym. It's got everything, like the score. Like you got Peter Murphy, the Cult. The score, I mean, the soundtracks on both of these movies are fucking epic.
I was gonna say I'm more partial to the first soundtrack because like you got Motorhead,
80s,
you got
yeah.
Saxon, like all
Billy
the
Idol.
yeah, all the '80s metal stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, Demons 2, man. I can't say enough about that movie. I love it. The cover is my favorite artwork of all time, too.
We're going to go to Danni Curr now with his number 5.
So my number 5 here, I'm going with a movie from the '90s, the mid '90s, I believe. It's a werewolf movie that I feel like just doesn't really get talked about, like hardly at all in any circles. But Bad Moon.
Bad Moon. I knew you were gonna say that.
Yep. Yeah, like the werewolf looks so good in that movie. Yeah. Yeah, you should check it out when you get a chance, man.
I never see the movie anywhere though. Like I've never.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't think it ever got a DVD release, as far as I know. Like, but I remember I used to have the VHS of it. Like I don't anymore for some reason. But yeah, just really good acting, really good story. I don't really know what else I could say more about it. It's got a really good fight between the German Shepherd and the werewolf at the end.
It's got a real big dick.
That's just it probably did. But yeah, I mean, just like that fight between the dog and the wolf, man, that's just something you got to see, I think.
It's no Witchcraft Part 8.
Awesome, dude. Well, we are halfway through this countdown now, so all the audience members, we have thousands of people have now gathered inside here to watch us live with episode 3, Splatacaster Massacre. We're going to get back. We're going to listen to a couple more tunes. We got a few commercials for you. When we get back, we will have 4 through 2 coming up with another tune. Then we'll see what everyone's number ones are. We appreciate everyone tuning in. This tune we're fixing to listen to is Anonymous with Dominatrix Matrix. Motherfuckers. It's a great tune. We'll be right back with more Splatacaster Massacre.
I was singing alone. I was singing alone now, baby. While I creep in the stair. While I creep in the stair, I said you wouldn't know. You know that I'm there. You know that I'm there now, baby. Can't believe that I'm here. Can't believe that I'm here now and forever. My sanity, don't doubt my sanity. Don't doubt my sanity. Don't doubt my sanity. There's a side of me. There's a side of me you never wanna see. Dominate your fate. Dominate your fate now, baby. So just do what I say. So just do what I say. We'll get the hoes again. Don't doubt my sanity. Don't doubt
Yo, guys, it's Big Dick Nick bringing you back.
Bitches pussy since 1973.
About the Splatacaster Massacre, baby. It's gonna be a massacre on the splatter.
The mask go up in them guts.
The splatter's going everywhere on the walls.
Daddy, I want to splatter all over
Dusty Roads, baby.
Ain't
no dirty road, man. It's my podcast.
I'm trying to tell you, man. Me and Rudy came up with this shit. We invented punk rock.
You know, we were back in the fucking Stone Age, man. We're like, we need punk rock.
We invented punk rock.
So we are run through. We've heard of a lot of classic movies. I hope, this is just me being a good guy. I hope a lot of people maybe have not listened to or seen one of these movies, and listening to this podcast, it branches them out, puts them out, finds them something that leads them to an interest to support some of these great movies that seem like have kind of, bricked the roadways for you two guys when it comes to this stuff.
Dude, everything that we've talked about, like his list and my list, are really great fucking movies.
It gets me bricked up.
It makes you full brick. You are full brick. Well, we better get back into this then, right? So we are looking at number 4. We got it's Danny Curr going first this time.
Okay, so I kind of had a hell of a hard time putting this one on the list because I don't know if it really qualifies as an underrated gem, but I think it kind of does because it has a scene in it that's like really popular, but at the same time, like the movie itself isn't
Don't
really
tell me. I
popular.
can tell you exactly what you're talking about.
You probably do, yeah.
Is it Silent Night, Deadly Night 2?
No.
Oh.
Ooh.
It's Exorcist 3.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Dude, so I feel like this movie is almost as good as Exorcist
It is.
1.
I love it better.
Yeah, I mean, just the scenes with Brad Dourif, playing the Father Karras character, like possessed. I mean, just his acting is so damn good in that, and just the story itself.
The story is so psychological, and it's in your mind.
It's really one of the best psychological horror movies I think I've ever seen.
It's got the best jump scare in history.
Yep.
And I don't even have to tell you what it is.
Yeah. So, I mean, Exorcist 3, man, it's top notch.
Yeah, it is. And, it's Jeffrey Dahmer made him scared, and it was his favorite movie, though. This little side note.
Very, very, very good movie. Very underrated.
There was
as well.
another serial killer that was obsessed with that movie, too.
Really?
Yeah, there's something about that movie. I mean, you got fucking Fabio in that dream sequence, too, with, like...
Well, it's Kareem, how do you say his name? Yeah, Kareem Abdul. Yeah.
But yeah, man, like it's kind of interesting you say that though, because I know that the original Exorcist, like they've made documentaries on the curse of it, like with all the crazy stuff that would happen on set. So I mean, you just never know, like if there's some kind of spiritual thing going on with that.
So you think the David Gordon Green Exorcist trilogy is going to be good after you're disappointed?
Dude, I would. So like Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills, I was singing David Gordon Green's praises. Yeah. I was like, you know what? This guy's awesome. Like he brought Halloween back to being, Michael Myers again.
But Halloween, what did Halloween 3 do to everybody back in the day?
Exactly.
It divided us. It divided us all, man.
It did. But like, I think the problem that I have with Halloween Ends is the fact that they took every opportunity to cut down the Michael Myers character. Like if you notice, like if you go back and you watch that, because I gave it a second chance. I watched it again on Peacock because I was like, maybe I'm being too hard on this movie. Maybe it's not as bad as I think it is. But I hated it worse the second time because...
See, I was different. Like the 18 and Kills, the first time I was confused, and then I grew to like it. When I saw Ends, I automatically loved it. And so every time I watch it, it's my favorite.
So the thing I hated about Ends real quick, like I couldn't stand the fact that there's multiple times in the movie like where they talk about Michael Myers just being a guy in a mask.
Yeah,
like
they took
there's
the mystique away.
Yeah, so like there's a scene like where the radio DJ, he's like, oh yeah, he was just a guy with brain damage, and then later in the movie, like when they got him pinned down at the table, Laurie's like, oh, there's nothing mystical about you, you're just a guy in a mask. Like I feel like they took every opportunity that they possibly could to cuck him out. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
they cucked the fuck out of Michael Myers.
They cock blocked everybody,
and that's what pissed me off.
But you had so much of it in Kills. It was an overdrive to bring it back. I kind of like the love indie story that he totally trolled the whole franchise. But I actually enjoyed that.
I think they could have, like the story that they had in that. I would have been on board with. Because there was potential there. So like the idea that kid was bringing him victims down in the sewer or whatever, and like he was killing them to bring like his power back up, almost like, you know,
he's powering up.
like a video game. Like he was like repowering. I thought that was a cool fucking idea. But like they didn't do anything with it. Like, I
mean, he kind of brought him back.
I mean, there was like one scene like where they kill that redheaded chick and the doctor.
Dude, I love that. Yeah, that
was a great scene.
Yeah,
but like besides that, I'm just like, okay, like after that, like you got the kid going down into the sewer and just
so you think the Exorcist
fucking mops the floor with Michael Myers. It's like, what is this shit?
You think the Exorcist is gonna take a crazy turn on the third one, probably?
Well, I think this first reboot that they do is going to be probably decent because it kind of has to be. Like they kind of have to do fan service. But then after that, it's kind of a roll of the dice.
My boy Christopher Nelson is doing the effects. He's my favorite podcast. The Thing with Two Heads.
Oh, dude, I got nothing bad at all to say about Christopher Nelson. His effect stuff is amazing.
Number 4.
I went off on a tangent there. My bad.
No, that was great.
My number 4 is The Hitcher from 1986. When people say great villains, they talk about Heath Ledger's the Joker.
Dude.
But my thing is Rutger Hauer as the fucking Hitcher, man.
There you go.
God damn. He's
amazing movie. You will not get any argument from me on that.
And I bought a VHS, the Thorn EMI clamshell off eBay, and it came signed C. Thomas Howell. It signed the first of it, or the front of it. And man, I saw it at a young age, and it really scarred me. And the movie just gets better and better, and they're finally coming out with a Blu-ray, I think. So I love watching it on Laserdisc.
So did it scare you?
Fuck yeah.
That movie's intense, dude.
Yeah, it is.
I love that movie.
Oh, man.
I can't say enough good about that movie. Just real quick on Rutger Hauer, did you ever see him play Phantom of the Opera?
I don't think so.
That was a good one.
Oh, man, that was intense.
Yeah.
I love the Phantom of the Opera.
Rutger Hauer's in my number 3.
Dude, just Rutgers. Rutger Hauer's is awesome.
I used to listen to this podcast called Profondo Cinema, and they would do an episode called the Rutger Hauer Power Hour.
That's a great title.
Yeah, Rutger Hauer Power Hour.
That's a great fucking title. Let's go right into the next one, man. Let's go back with Anonymous at number 3.
Number 3 is going to be another Rutger Hauer Power Hour.
What?
And
back to back.
Do you say your number 4?
I said my number 4.
What was yours for number 4?
Exorcist 3.
Oh, Exorcist 3. Number 3 for me is going to be Split Second from 1992. Yeah, I mean, I grew up in this fucking movie. I live my code like he does. You know, he eats the chocolate, he smokes the cigars. You know, he's strung it on coffee.
So let me quote a line from that movie real quick.
Yeah.
You don't want to go down there. Satan's down there. Yeah. Well, Satan's in deep shit.
Yeah.
We're gonna need big fucking guns.
It's basically the Satan is killing people on a certain point of the night because of the alignment of the stars. He's eating their hearts to gain their souls. And these two cops kind of put it together, and it's like London in the future, but it's flooded. So there's like a rat, these diseases going everywhere, these huge rats and shit. And this creature is like a mix between like a rat and like an alien, kind of from Aliens, it looks like. But it's so fucking classic. Kim Cattrall, you got her in there. It's a really good English film. It's an HBO movie, so it doesn't really have too much. I think there's a Blu-ray out, which I need to grab it. But Split Second, fucking one of my favorite movies ever.
I got a VHS copy of that.
Do you? Yeah, I still got the VHS.
Dude, you could make a top 10. Like every movie on your list could have been a Rutger Hauer movie, and I would have been like, fuck yeah, Ronnie's list kicks ass.
Yeah. He's done a lot. Blade Runner is one of my favorite movies ever. He's got the best scene. And of course, he's in Batman Begins. His role's not great, but that movie's amazing.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Right back over to Danny Curr with his number 3, representing Ohio.
So I'm going with some Italian horror on number 3.
I
want to guess already.
What's your guess?
Give me a clue.
Iron Maiden's on the soundtrack.
Okay, you're not talking about Phenomenal? No.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's my number 3.
I don't like this movie.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Oh.
So, like, my argument for this being a good movie is you got a lot going on in this. I mean, you got like elements of a slasher movie. You got, the chick controls bugs.
Yeah.
Like, you got a lot of supernatural stuff going on too. That, and you got Donald Pleasance. I mean, who doesn't love Donald Pleasance, right? But I feel like, the first time I seen this movie, I didn't really like it. But the second time that I watched it, I think
grew on you.
Yeah, well, I think it's because like I seen it. It was like late at night, and there was like a storm going on outside, and like rain was pouring down on the roof. So it kind of hit different, and I kind of got it. You know what I mean? Because it was like a pitch black room, like where I was watching it, and like all I could see was the TV, and I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of really good like concepts in this movie, and a lot of really good gore scenes, obviously. I don't know. I just really like the movie. I think it's unique. I think it's different. Like I think the soundtrack's different.
Yeah, it's one of Dario's kind of different films.
Yeah. It's very, very different, and it's very, just I don't know, unique, I guess is the word. Yeah.
Guys, we are down to our last 4. Each has 2 more. We're going to find out each contestants from Kentucky, Anonymous. From Ohio, Danni Curr. We're going to get their number 2s right now. This is exciting. Like these coming up have got to be the bangers of all bangers that nobody knows are bangers, right?
Well, yeah, you could say that.
Is that the concept of this of list is the most obscured but best?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's pretty cool, man. So I'm excited about this one. So leading off with his number 2, representing Ohio out of the band Shocker, we have Danni fucking Curr.
Well, I'm gonna go with the John Carpenter movie here. So, I was kind of hard pressed to actually add like one of his movies to the list because like everybody's like loves John Carpenter. You know what I mean? Like he's like world renowned, loved by horror fans. But Prince of Darkness is my number 2.
Well, we just listen to the soundtrack. In my car.
But man, like I feel like the story in that is just so like different.
Yeah.
Because like it's kind of an end of the world movie, right?
I think it's the most important horror film ever made.
Oh wow!
Really? Wow!
Yeah, just because of the concept.
Yeah. Well, I like the fact that it kind of deals with like time travel too.
Yeah.
Like it kind of deals with time travel.
Tachyons.
Yeah.
Tachyons is a real theory.
Yeah.
That if you could travel the speed of light, you could send information backwards in time at a specific point, and it could be interpreted through dreams. So you could send a message to somebody that would have the same dream in the same area, which is this church.
Yeah.
That they're broadcasting the signal because the church had been hiding the secret in the basement for hundreds of years, thousands of years, of this jar, and something's inside of this big case, and it's basically where the devil burnt his son.
Yeah.
And
it's fucking crazy.
It's a crazy concept.
And those are some of my favorite scenes of the movie too, like the dream sequences, like where they're getting the messages
from. It's not a dream.
And you see the silhouette inside of the church. Yeah, dude. I mean, I feel like the concept of that, and just like the idea of like trying to bring the Antichrist through the mirror and everything. There's just so much going on in that movie that you need to watch it more than once to be able to actually like take it all in. So
even the mustache doesn't throw me off.
Yeah,
the lead dude.
The bargain basement Tom Atkins.
Yeah, the Simon and Simon dude. Yeah, poor man's Tom Atkins.
But I mean, also not only that, but I mean, dude, you got Alice Cooper on the soundtrack.
Yeah, in the movie.
He does a cameo in the movie. There's just a lot of really great things about that movie. Donald Pleasance is in it.
Yeah.
Where my favorite part is like where he throws the axe into the mirror at the end.
What's he say? He says something in Latin.
Yeah, some kind of Latin thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that fucking movie.
I can't get enough Donald Pleasance.
That's a good one.
Number 2.
My number 2 is a 1981 film called Eyes of Fire.
Oh, yeah.
And I showed you the preview. Did you ever get to see it?
I did. I watched it.
You watched it?
Absolutely.
Oh, shit. What do you think?
Yeah, it's on Shudder now.
Yeah. See?
Yeah, I loved it, dude. Like, I actually watched it twice. Like, after you told me about it, like, I went and I checked it out the first time. I was like, that's really good. So then I threw it on again, and I watched it at nighttime because like the first time I watched it was in the daytime. So like I like to do that with movies. Like I like to actually go back and like review them again.
Yeah,
because like if you watch it like at night, I feel like it has like kind of like a different like sort of like feel to it.
See, when I was a kid, I was like 12, and my aunt or my cousin was like, I rented this movie called Eyes of Fire. It's downstairs. It's scary. Be careful. And I went downstairs. I watched it by myself. It fucking changed me.
Yeah.
I forgot the name. I thought it said Red something, right? So I became obsessed with film from like 12 to 15. I bought all the books from A to Z and tried to find this fucking movie obsessively for like 8 years, right? So I get around 19 and I'm renting a lot of movies from this place called Sunstar. And I'm seeing the cover of Eyes of Fire, and I don't realize that's the movie I've been searching for my whole life. That's the same exact tape that we rented. So I'm having these reoccurring dreams where the cover is moving. What? Like the skeleton's moving, the dress is moving, and I don't think it's a dream. I think it's reality. And I'm like, why is this tape coming to life on me? I have the dream 3 times. So I finally go to Sunstar. I'm like, there's a fucking movie that I keep dreaming about. I rent it, and I'm like, this is the fucking movie I've been searching for. So subconsciously, this movie to me has, it's alive. It has a conscience, and it was coming. It was saying, hey, I'm over here. You've been looking for me.
Yeah, man.
And the director stopped directing after that. He's in Kentucky now, and he teaches one of the schools around Western. But yeah, I got the Blu-ray finally. Dude, I have this movie on the Japanese Laserdisc, the normal Laserdisc. I have the VHS, the actual one that was moving on me. I bought it from Sunstar. And then I have a bootleg DVD, and I have the Blu-ray that just came out.
So just real quick, I just want to elaborate on what you just said. Is there something to be said, and maybe this is just me, but so like when you watch a movie on VHS, as compared to like watching it on Blu-ray, I mean, does it have a different effect on you? Because I remember like when I first watched the original Halloween on VHS when I was a kid, and I had nightmares for weeks, dude. Like, and it just, I mean, it changed me. Like, it made me like such a huge like horror fan because I loved the part of like just being scared about it. You know what I mean?
I mean, I watched it first on Betamax.
Yeah, but like years later, like when you watch it like on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever, and it's all cleaned up, it's like it doesn't have that gritty.
It doesn't
feel
have the
to
effect. Yeah,
it doesn't really feel like.
Yeah.
I mean, it still feels like you're watching the boogeyman.
Takes away the mystique.
Yeah, it does.
But like, I don't know, man. Like, there's just something different about that gritty feel.
The way I look at like Friday the 13th, I think should be seen on VHS.
I agree with you.
The only thing that should be in like that kind of HD is porn.
Yeah, I mean,
and Citizen Kane.
High definition pussy.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
HDP.
But at the same time, too, as far as that goes, I mean, I'm kind of more of a fan of the amateur stuff, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I like the gritty phone stuff.
Grittier phone stuff, yeah, because it's real.
Or you get the Polaroids from the 80s. The sticky Polaroids from the 80s you find under
peel them apart.
We went deep on that one.
We some nasty motherfuckers right here. But
I agree with you though, dude. Eyes of Fire, excellent movie.
Yeah.
Boom. So we're gonna go to our last commercial. We're gonna listen to a little bit of Next to Nothing. The song is called Graveyard, and when we're back, dude, we will have the #1 pick of our what we've been leading up to all night long. We'll be back with more Splatacaster Massacre.
Midst of the happiest people, so much is rearranged, and hope doesn't grow for fear of changes, but the hell in my head becomes deranged. Continue to try to invade my walls, stronger and stronger I'll rebuild them all, and I'll release my grip and watch you fall in a world that won't let me go. But I'm exhausted, hope I tossed it. You just watched this as I lost grip. You said, look, adorable you are. I said surprise, welcome to your graveyard. Welcome to your graveyard. Never trust the ones that said no for plain. Terribly shameless is my brain. But just you'll be wet when it starts to rain. Backward circles, please explain. the hell in my head becomes deranged.
But yeah, we appreciate everyone for tuning in. This has been a great episode. We're going to have number 1 coming up here soon. We are reminding the audience, please get your little clicker from underneath the seat and vote for which one you like the best. At the end of the show, we will have the results of who won, who has the best top 10 underground of Saturday horror movies, baby. But this is number 1. Oof. Danny Curr.
That's a lot of pressure, boys. But I feel like
butt pressure was in that sentence. I heard it.
Yeah, it was.
I heard it.
Butt plug
pressure. We're playing Scrabble.
But I feel like the movie I got here on my list is a pretty good keeper here. So it's got everything in it. It's got aliens. It's got zombies. It's got
I know what it is.
Elements of a slasher story. It's got a guy with a mustache in it.
And you know what? Within the first 10 minutes of this movie, you get outer space sci-fi. You get a 1950s black and white.
Yep.
Then you get a 1980s college scene.
Yep.
You get titties?
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 Are there titties in that? I don't remember.
Full nip?
So. Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Is there nip?
Yeah, they're walking around naked when they're getting ready for the
you're
prom.
right. You're right. So Night of the Creeps is what we're talking about.
Ooh, Night of the Creeps.
I don't know. Like I feel like you just can't really get any better as far as like a B horror movie that's like fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like when I think fun, if I can't figure out something to throw on that's like fun to watch, like Night of the Creeps is my go-to.
Oh, that would be on the, if anybody like horror comedies top 10, even the top 10 80s horror films, that's definitely on. Like it got a resurgence when the DVD got released in 2010, but after that, I mean the artwork sucked.
Yeah.
Who wants to buy that Blu-ray with that shitty ass? And the ending, they changed the ending.
Yeah.
From the if I have it on Laserdisc and VHS, it's the original ending, which is the poodle spits out the slug, goes into the mouth, But the ending on the new one, there's a UFO. They're just looking around, and it's over.
Well, there was what was the alternate ending that they were gonna have, like where Tom Atkins is like walking out of the house that like blew up or whatever, and he's like covered in like soot and stuff from the explosion.
I don't know. That'd be awesome, though.
Yeah. Like there was an alternate ending. Like I think there was like on the DVD that I got, there's like clips of it, like that they had.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like at the end of the like after the house blows up and stuff, like he walks out and you see him just kind of like fall down on the ground, and then the slugs come like pouring out of his head.
He didn't come running out screaming like banshees.
But yeah, dude, Night of the Creeps, absolute classic for me.
Yeah. That was one of the early ones when I was a kid. I got a hold of. Oh, so fucking great.
It's gotten love in recent years, but I still feel
it
like
needs to be talked about more.
I still feel like it deserves more. Yeah.
Number one, Anonymous.
For me, you can even ask like the director. I'm probably like the biggest fan of this fucking movie.
Ask him.
Mark Pavia directed a film in 1998. It was his first film. He did a zombie short, and he got the attention of Stephen King, Romero, and Richard Rubinstein, the producer. And they gave him a chance to do a full movie, The Night Flyer. And Miguel Ferrer was the lead. You might know him from RoboCop, Twin Peaks. It's just one of the most... It's from a Stephen King short story. The short story does not even compare the amazingness of this movie and how underrated it is. And Rubinstein's been sitting on the rights. There hasn't been any physical release of this. Like a Snapcase DVD, like in '99 came out, and that's the last time that this movie is had like some kind of like, you can't stream it anywhere. It's so hard to find. And this pilot, Dwight Renfield, is a vampire pilot who goes to airport, and he basically can hypnotize people and drains their blood. And there's this dude, this reporter, Richard Dees, which I call Richard Dees nuts. He's bloodlust too, and he's on the trail of this vampire, and it's just fucking great. There's so many levels, and it's almost like a David Lynch film. There's like different, you can interpret it different ways, and like what happened at the end, you can even mix it around. But have you seen The Night Flyer?
I have not.
Oh, it's great.
That's one that I've heard about, but I've never actually like sat down and watched it. That's definitely one I will check out, though.
Yeah, the score, everything about it is fucking great. And the director's such an inspirational guy. If you friend him, he's just so positive. He's done one movie since then called Fender Bender, which was a slasher about this dude who hits girls' cars to get their information. And then he stalks them because he has their addresses and shit. And he wears like a leather mask and a leather jacket.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, man. That's my number 1, The Night Flyer.
Goodbye.
See ya. I win.
Ladies and gentlemen, the votes are in.
Dun, dun, dun.
It was a tie. Good night.
I need one,